Hello, and welcome to the Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. I am one of the students. I'm Devin.
I'm the other student, Morg.
And I'm the teacher, Dan. And this week, we watched Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, episodes 41 and 45, Attack on Pinball Fortress, and Super Robotnik.
Some interesting concepts in these episodes.
They had some things to say.
Yeah. Trying to decide how I feel about what they're saying.
Yeah. So, before we get into that, we've got quite a bit of news. So, first of all, there's been more footage of Sonic Frontiers from IGN. They've shown a whole bunch of different... They've shown some more gameplay. They showed a combat trailer. It didn't look good, but the person who played it wrote a little thing on it, made it into a video. They said that the gameplay feels pretty good, but visually and aesthetically it's very strange. Weird vibes, as we've put it before.
It just boom again.
The future of Sonic is strange vibes.
Yeah, it's got this very lonely feel to it. There's music. It's got, instead of very upbeat music, it's very quiet, mysterious music, ambiance and whatnot.
Is this a creepypasta?
It's Sonic EXE, but real.
Sonic EXE is real, and it's coming to get you.
Thank you, IGN.
They also noted, there's supposed to be, they talked about an intro where, Sonic got pulled into a portal with Tails and Amy, and now he's alone, but also he's got, this AI guiding him around, or some sort of computer voice.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
No. It's more like a Fee. She's kind of like an AI. It sounds like, you can have kind of a lonely game on purpose, but there is a way of doing it that isn't weird, I guess.
I guess it just feels jarring because it's Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess my answers will have to see the game to see, are the weird vibes very much intentional?
Right, yeah. And I was also gonna say I feel like it's gonna be weird no matter what, just because the concept of what seems to be presenting itself as Sonic Breath of the Wild is gonna be fucking weird.
Yeah. I think if there's anything I've learned from 80 plus episodes of talking about Sonic the Hedgehog, it's just all of Sonic is kind of weird.
Right. But there's an intention. I think sometimes it depends on whether it's an intentional weirdness or not, I guess.
Yeah. Apparently they asked, Takashi Iizuka, who is I don't recall his exact position at Sonic Team. I think he's creative director. He did say that it is supposed to feel different. So at the very least, it is intentional. That, in addition to that, there was this thing called the Sonic Central, 2022. Where they just showed off all these different things. A little, not quite E3 showing. They showed a very quick clip of a prologue for Sonic Frontiers. All it is just it's Knuckles on the Angel Island, and something's about to happen.
I hope it doesn't fall again.
I hope so. we got another clip of Sonic Prime. This time it's just Shadow running around in ball form. Nothing beyond that. I don't even think we heard him say anything. We got another trailer for Sonic Origins, which is coming out on June 21st, I think? June 23rd. June 23rd, which is Sonic's birthday.
Right, yes.
Yep.
I don't think they've shown necessarily anything new, but, like, the menus look kinda cool. Like, it shows, like, the different islands the games take place on, and there's gonna be, like, a museum thing. And new cutscenes. Let's see. We got an announcement for the Blu-ray for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. We got bloopers. We got, behind the scenes footage, deleted scenes. One of the deleted scenes appeared to be, Dr. Robotnik tripping out on mushrooms.
I mean, it was bound to happen.
It was inevitable, yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be a new short, featuring the voice actors, for Sonic and Tails.
That's nice.
Let's see. We got Sonic costumes coming to Fall Guys. I swear to God there's been like a Sonic costume before, but maybe I'm thinking of something else. Has
Sonic been in Fortnite yet?
Not yet. Well, much to consider.
Dr. Starline for Fortnite. That's all I'm saying.
At the very least, Shadow the Hedgehog in Fortnite.
Please, the kids will love it.
Tilted Towers.
So,
welcome to Tilted Towers.
You can wear costumes based on Sonic, Knuckles, or Tails. They only showed the Sonic and Knuckles ones in the little trailer, though.
Cowards wouldn't show the Tails ones.
There's oh, I forgot this existed, but there's like this Roblox thing called Sonic Speed Simulator. I don't remember when it came out, but it's been around for a bit. It's getting a new stage based on Chemical Plant Zone.
Nice.
And they gave a little promo code for an Amy Rose Chow you can unlock. As always, the Sonic mobile game front is the most active game front, as they have revealed new characters and stages based on the movie. There's going to be a Halloween update that features Mephiles the Dark, and Super Shadow's going to join as well. One of the Night Sonic characters from Sonic and the Black Knight is being added. Let me see here. I think it was the Blaze Knight, Sir Percival. Well, it says Sir Percival, but I can't remember if that was Blaze or not. Yeah, it's Blaze.
You know, we do talk about weird vibes in Sonic games here, but yeah, there has been some weird Sonic games.
Yeah.
What if Sonic Dark Souls?
What if Sonic was isekai'd into a fantasy world, but also there were characters in it that looked like his friends, but not all of them?
What if Sonic was a wolf,
like
but not really?
Times?
Like he was a werewolf, but not a werewolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if Sonic isekai'd into another world where his friends are characters, but this time Egypt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know? Let's see.
I think it's like, but you're kind of going into that game knowing that, whereas like, I feel like going into Boom, you're not expecting it to be creepy, kind of.
Yeah, I feel like...
Oh, you're not expecting all the characters to try to talk to cover up the fact that there's literally no one else.
Let's see. They've got licensing deals for food, drinks, game accessories. Off the top of my head, there's going to be a Knuckles the Echidna, what's the brand? G Fuel.
Oh, let's go.
There's going to be statues of Sonic and Amy Rose and Tails. There's going to be a weird controller holder based on Sonic. He's just going to be holding his arms out and you can put the controller there.
Thank you, Sonic.
Sonic sports gear. Let's see. Oh, was there, I'm just looking at this article, going off everything real quick. Yes, Pez dispensers. That was the other thing. And last but not least, they're bringing back the Sonic Symphony, and it's going on tour. They haven't revealed any tour dates, but it's going to be starting with one at the Brazil Game Show in October. I did not know this existed, but I'm happy for them. And that's about it. By the way, today was the Summer Game Fest. A lot of game announcements there. Nothing Sonic related, so nothing directly on topic, but worth bringing up. Let's see, I feel like there was another piece of news that I'm oh, yes! One last piece of news. Another Tails Tube video went up, today.
I didn't watch it yet, but I saw it posted in the Discord.
Yeah. In it, they talk about, Dr. Eggman and the threat he poses to the world. There's, a bit where Eggman takes over the stream for a minute. He talks about, Shadow and, his grandpa and Gun, and, there is a very brief line where he says that he put them in their place during his last takeover campaign, implying that he somehow destroyed or at least heavily weakened Gun.
Damn, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, tragic. The worst person you know did something good.
It's kind of about the intentions, though. What was his intentions to weaken them?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you do something good for awful reasons,
So true.
He didn't have the right reasons. I am looking at I am skimming through the video, and I did notice that one of the things they show is the very good framed photo of Sonic and Shadow from Shadow the Hedgehog.
God!
So fucking good.
I love that the president just has a picture of Sonic. I'll never get over it.
That's his friend. It's his guy.
But that's it for news, I think. I don't think I missed anything else important. So we can get into the episode. Episode 41, Attack on Pinball Fortress.
With a name like that, I had no idea what it was going to be about.
Yeah,
I never know what these episodes are going to be about at this point.
True.
Honestly, it is very much me picking and choosing whatever sounds interesting or might have or stuff that I might recognize.
Well, this one was sure interesting.
We open with what appear to be peasants in an Arabic town doing pottery.
Yeah, what?
I did not know what... I was like, these are peasants for sure. I don't know the vibe they're going for, but they are peasants doing pottery, and they're too smart for their own good, so... Eggman has to fucking make them dumb so they don't revolt.
Yeah.
He's like, no...
Yeah, they're discussing praxis.
No proletarian revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're like, oh, just wait until we organize and unionize. We'll fucking take down Eggman, then they get shot with the Dum-Dum Ray.
So, Dr. Robotnik has a stupidity ray. You zap someone with it, they become stupid.
That's literally what it's called also. Incredible stuff.
Perfect for any brain drain enthusiast.
Also, Dr. Robotnik's in his military costume.
Yeah,
today.
he's dressed like Rambo, and so are Scratch and Grounder. He's got no shirt on. He's got the bandana.
You calling it a brain drain ray, I was just like, oh no, Eggman has a bimbofication ray.
Oh shit.
No.
Eggman get bimbofied.
Eggman get bimbofied. Fuck. I don't like it.
The U.S. military in this episode is desperately searching for the bimbofication ray.
Sonic is like gonna stop him, so Robotnik's trying to shoot Sonic with this ray. We see very briefly that it doesn't work on Scratch because he's already stupid.
So,
okay, is that what happens? Because it shoots and it clearly shows it going past Scratch's
It sure
head.
looks like it's going past his head, but like the way they were talking about it, I was like, oh, I guess it hit him and I missed it somehow.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Cause it's very clearly like, oh, you're just too dumb, lol.
Right.
Also, there's this, like, very, weirdly tender moment where Dr. Robotnik's like, oh my god, are you okay? Like, are you alright? I didn't mean to hit you. And, like, Scratch is like, no, I'm sorry, boss, I'm fine. He's like, oh, thank god. And I'm like, yo, what the heck?
Yeah.
Sometimes he cares about them, but usually he doesn't.
Yeah, sometimes he's just like, oh shit, man, did that hurt? I'm sorry.
It's lackey. We see some people that get caught in the crossfire. Sergeant Doberman is yelling at a troop who feels apathetic towards some training drills, but then he gets zapped and he becomes loyal.
He loves it. He's so into it after that. Also, I forgot about this Doberman guy. Like, I remember...
Yeah, didn't he try to adopt
Yeah.
Didn't he have a wife?
He did have a wife, who was off screen.
She was practicing her aim.
That's right!
Sometimes she misses him.
Her aim's getting better. Wes Weasley is also here.
I remember him. Cause I don't know. I guess it's easier to remember just a shitty, snake oil salesman.
Yeah. He's selling encyclopedia kits with blank pages.
I like that he's...
Yeah, they're interactive. You add the words yourself.
Yeah, I like that he says to the person he's trying to sell it to, he's like, oh, you know everything you have to know. So, isn't it good that they're blank? Because you're too smart.
Yeah, so...
I was fully expecting him to say, yeah, you add the words in as you learn them.
Too. No, it's that you're too smart. And also he tries to, like... give him some toenail clipping, or not clippings, clippers.
Yeah.
Which are just regular scissors.
So, this guy, this Mark that he's trying to get is, he gets zapped and he immediately buys the whole kit and more.
Yeah, even his stinky socks.
Give me your socks!
Which, I feel like that guy was wanting to ask, but this Dum-Dum Ray let him live his truth.
So, Sonic, stops Robotnik by, he basically just puts a donkey on a little teeter-totter thing and jumps on it. The mule does not land on Robotnik, instead it lands next to him and kicks him into the sky.
Yeah, his normal Looney Tunes bullshit.
I heard of a housefly, but not a mule fly. Thanks, Tails.
Thank you, Tails.
Thank you, Tails.
So, Doberman and Wes Weasley, now both want the stupidity ray because, stupid people make good soldiers, and stupid people are easily tricked into buying things.
Interesting.
Interesting choices.
Interesting commentary that'll be walked back.
Yes.
And also it's bad commentary even on its own. Cause it's like...
Yeah, oversimplification commentary, but interesting commentary.
It's like, all people in the military are dumb,
Yes,
all people that spend money and live in capitalism are dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you hate capitalism and yet you participate in it?
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good one.
They're like fighting over this stupidity ray, that got left behind. Sonic then grabs it and smashes it with a big rock.
I thought they were gonna kill him.
Yeah. Like, at first they're just like, trying to offer him things like, just stuff and
Threats.
Threats.
Because the military guy is just like, no, you gotta help the protection of...
Do your part.
Do your part.
It's really funny when Sonic drops a rock on the stupidity ray, because when he does, the stupidity ray just turns into like a crisp on the ground. So the rock doesn't look like it does
it does
anything.
not look like it's smashed. It's very funny.
I'm fully like, I watched that, I was like, yeah, just pick up the rock and grab the gun,
Yeah.
it's fine.
There is a walkie-talkie nearby, which has a little hologram of Robotnik as he tells them about how now he's going to build a big one that can zap the whole world and make them all his loyal minions.
Yeah, he just gets on the phone. Like, they're just talking and he's just like, hey guys, do you want to hear about my plan and where I am?
Yeah, what the fuck? They could have just, like, done it.
Yeah. Well,
he's like, come to my house. Here's the
there's
address.
nothing a supervillain loves more than taunting and challenges.
True.
That is true.
He's got it in his impenetrable pinball fortress, and Doberman and Wesley, they both want it. They're gonna come with Sonic and Tails. They're like offering their help, because Doberman, he's a powerful soldierman, and Wes Weasley, well, he sold half the stuff that was used to make this fortress. So he knows all the ins and outs.
Yeah, I was like, is this commentary? I don't know. It's probably just a funny joke.
Yeah, it's just a joke.
It is something that has happened before. The episode where he was introduced was all just him, like, trying to sell Robotnik doomsday devices.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Robotnik bought them.
Yeah.
He bought them and made a funny house.
He did. They hike all the way over there, and they have Tails scout ahead. The road's blocked, so they have to find some other way to get there. Sonic ties a rope to a ball and a rock, and he gets Wesley to throw it and Doberman to bat it. And it sails all the way to the other side of the fortress, and this creates a bridge for Sonic to run on.
Yeah, and he can just run on
really asking about the physics of this.
I'm not.
So are they saying it's so
I
fast
can't.
So are they saying they hit it and it's so fast that Sonic is not faster than that ball?
I guess Sonic is nimble enough to run on
Air.
things.
He's running on air.
Mid-flight. Sonic is doing that thing that the guy from the original Dragon Ball series does, where he like rips up a tree and then throws it and then jumps on the tree so he has like a plane to ride.
Yeah, he's doing it.
Do you
like
guys
General
remember
Tao.
that? Yeah, that guy.
Love that guy. He had
Always excited when I see him.
He had a gi that said "kill you" on it.
God, he was so funny.
He like gets up to the other side. He ties the rope to a pipe, and Doberman can get across using this winch pulley thing. I'm just gonna say, like in Far Cry, because that's what it made me think of.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Wes, like, grabs onto him. They're fighting. They pull both their pants down. Each other's pants down, revealing comedy boxers.
So when do you think these two are gonna kiss?
I don't want to think about it, but eventually.
Yeah.
Off screen.
Off-screen.
Inevitably, terrifyingly, disappointingly. There's a lot
Everything
of
will lead to this.
But they get there, but Robotnik starts, like, firing missiles at them, so they have to get away from him.
I do love this because it's not like he has like a defense system that's firing the lasers or like robots outside that are firing the missiles. It's just like him from his window, like he's like a weird shotgun owner.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like doing like my castle laws. He's just like, get off my property.
So they have to get through this unpassable door. It's super locked up, it's super strong, there's no way past it. But Wes Weasley, his company made it, and he knows it's one weakness. So he grabs some water, tosses it on the door, and it all rusts away immediately.
They're like,
it's
aha,
a teeny
rusting.
tiny slight rust problem.
Yeah.
They go in, there's pinball, there's video game sound effects that they probably got from the archives for the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. And
I love how this episode is called like the Pinball Fortress and not like the Dum Dum Ray or whatever.
Yeah, no,
because
it's about the
Pinball
fortress.
is not that important.
yeah, this is the only time we see any pinball stuff going on here. Maybe, I wonder if they called it that. I wonder if Sonic Spinball had come out around this time or something. Cause that's a game about a pinball fortress.
That it is.
So, they end up in this lava room, and Sonic has to face off against a Robo Scorpion. Doberman tries to fire at it with a machine gun, but it doesn't work. Instead, Sonic has to spin dash. Instead of directly attacking it, though, he breaks the ground beneath it, so it crashes into the lava. And then they hop across the rocks.
And the writers for The Incredibles were furiously taking notes.
Somewhere, J.E. Sawyer, hears the words, Robo Scorpion, and knows that he just writes it down.
His eyes snap open in the middle of the night.
So, they are gonna go in. Robotnik's got a trap ready.
Okay, this next bit drives me crazy. Robotnik is like, okay, so when Sonic opens those big comical doors right there, right over there, the moment they open, you're just gonna fire the laser and turn him into a big dum-dum.
Yeah!
One. And then Sonic knocks on the door, and Robotnik seems to forget that he knew Sonic was in this building. Cause he's just like, who is it? And Sonic's like, it's me. And he's like, oh, come in.
I mean, that's like this kind of show, though, is that, like, they can be tricked by him in funny costumes. So it's like, they can be tricked by him pretending to surrender, too.
Dude, right. It's the door. If he opens it, you shoot.
Yeah.
So he comes in with this surrender and a present, and inside the present is Wes Weasley and Doberman. He calls it like a treat.
Yeah, it's his favorite treat for Dr. Robotnik.
My favorite treat, a white box wrapped in a red bow.
With a fucking capitalist and weird kind of authoritarian fashy guy. Great. Yeah. Thank you.
His favorite kind of treat.
My favorite treat, Wes Weasley and Sergeant Doberman. They come out of the box, they beat him up or something. They fight over this big machine. And in the fighting, Scratch and Grounder try to shoot them, but they shoot Robotnik instead. And he gets his brain drained.
Okay, so this is like the first time I've really put together that Robotnik's voice actor is the same for Scratch and Grounder, because his dumb voice is just Grounder.
No, he's a different guy.
Are you sure? They sound so similar.
Yes, Dr. Robotnik is voiced by Long John Baldry.
Great.
Who... Maybe he was just doing a Grounder voice for this. But Long John Baldry, famous gay blues musician, and Grounder is voiced by Gary Chalk, who is, I think it's just a lot of stuff. I think he just does a lot of did a lot of voice stuff at this time.
His dumb voice sounds so much just like Grounder voice.
Yeah.
It seemed different enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it was like his laughing when he was like getting like exploded in the air. I was like, yeah, that's Grounder laughing.
Okay, there is one thing I'm finding here that I didn't realize looking at Gary Chalk on IMDb, which is just that, one, he's still voice acting. There's stuff from this year.
Great.
And two, he is British, and also Long John Baldry is. So that might imply something. I don't know. So, Eddie. Okay, I just real quick want to put. I'm just looking at his IMDb.
He was the werewolf from Scary Godmother.
Yeah. He was in Freddy vs. Jason as the sheriff.
Great.
He was in 8 Below. I have not thought about that movie in many years.
I've never seen that, I don't think.
I think it's about sled dogs.
Maybe I have seen it. I've seen a sled dog movie that wasn't a cartoon. I'm not talking about Balto.
I was about to say.
Yes. It might have been that one then.
A Balto Core film.
Balto Core! Yes! Absolutely.
Yeah, they, so anyways, Robotnik gets, bimbified. He pulls a big...
Good for him.
We could all be so lucky.
He pulls a big switch on the machine that, is the self-destruct switch. The fortress explodes. Our heroes get away. Robotnik, is still stupid. He's not really sure what's going on. He's not sure if he hates that hedgehog or not. In his, brain drainity, he creates another explosion just because it's so fun. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, Mr. Doberman says, I don't need the stupidity raid. The best soldiers are always the smart ones. And, the weasel guy says, and, if everyone in the world was suckers, my job wouldn't be any fun. So I'm glad they got that valuable lesson.
They learned their lesson, I guess.
They learned their lesson.
They learned their lesson that, sometimes you don't always want to exploit people in that way. Maybe you just want to exploit people in other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So,
can we talk about the Sonic Says?
Yeah.
Eggman is fixed. So that's one thing. Do Sonic Says this take place after the events of the episode, or is it like a different universe?
I think, I think it takes place after the episodes, but I have no idea.
I think that does make sense, since based on the other episode we watched, like, Eggman, like, Robotnik does eventually get unstupidified, so.
It wore off.
Yeah, it's worn off for the Sonic Says until he's, like, fucking around with the small one again. And he blasts himself. Cause he's dumb. And so it made him dumb again.
And Sonic has a valuable lesson we can learn from this. There's 3 ways to be smart.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, stay in school.
Interesting.
Number 2, stay in school.
Uh-huh.
Number 3, don't forget 1 and 2.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Go to school, kids.
If you go to school, you'll learn not to build a dum-dum ray and accidentally shoot yourself with the dum-dum ray.
Yeah, you'll learn American history 12 times.
Yeah, you'll learn about how the Civil War was just kind of a neutral thing that we did. Wasn't really good or bad.
You will not, however, learn how to, you will not learn gun safety, which is probably what you actually need for this.
Yeah, this wasn't like hey kids, here's how to not, like, shoot a gun randomly.
Oops.
I did look through, one of the things I take into account when, like, picking episodes for these is there a funny Sonic Says, moral? And one of them was gun control.
Interesting. For kids? That's interesting.
I
might talk about that one someday.
Oh, I'm so desperate to see, like, Tails gets a gun.
Oh no!
Have we already done What If Tails smoked a cigarette?
Yeah.
We did do What If Tails Smoked a Cigarette. It's a great image. I believe, noted Sonic YouTuber, Cybershell, does own a cell of this.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, now I'm remembering.
Good shit.
Eventually we're gonna do one where Scratch and Grounder get drunk.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Oh man, let's go.
Getting crunk in the club with Scratch and Grounder?
Fucking
would love it.
Scratch and Grounder getting fucking turned up, let's go.
Damn, they could actually go to clubs, because I don't think robots can get COVID.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think they have, like, a legal age, so they can just say whatever.
Yeah.
So, episode 45, Super Robotnik. Coconuts is cleaning the lab when he accidentally knocks a shelf full of chemicals into a vat. Robotnik comes in to yell at him when he slips on the wet floors and falls into it, face first.
Into this goop that is apparently impossible to get out of.
It does, like, move after he had spilled chemicals in it. It is kind of like a weird gooey mush.
Yes.
Like, it's like cement.
He made one of those disgusting TikTok beverages.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it turned Robotnik into a slime girl.
Oh, well, now it's good.
It turned Robotnik into Superman.
Yeah, that's what it actually did.
He's got a Superman outfit. He's got all of Superman's powers. He's Super Robotnik.
Very important that we mention, just his top half fell in.
Yes.
Yes!
His beautiful caboose.
This becomes an actual plot point.
It becomes a very important plot point later.
I do think they made his ass smaller for the sake of this design.
They did!
They took away his ass!
They took away his ass! Because he, like, when he becomes Super Robotnik, like, all his fat, like, becomes muscle, and he's kind of got that, like, Dorito ass shape that, like,
can we talk about Grounder's iconic line?
Mm-hmm.
All his lard is becoming hard.
Oh yeah, he sure does say that, huh?
He sure does say that.
He gets very hard.
But yeah, he like turns into that like Dorito shape, like
he
Superman
becomes a Pixar dad
figure. Yeah. Yes.
Mr. Incredible over here.
He's a little bit Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, he's got Pixar dad tits.
You knew he aided that cheese upside down.
Mm-hmm.
He says, Dorito.
Dorito. Yeah, because, so all his, like, but his glorious ass does also, like, shrinks, even though it was not in the water, because he, like, Coconuts had tried to save him by putting a fucking, like, you know, like those floaty, like, things that you toss to someone when they fall overboard and stuff.
Yeah.
He just puts it on his ass.
He should have had a big ass for this.
He should have.
He usually does.
He should have had a ginormous ass. They stole his caboose.
It's so important in this episode that it's like very butt related stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, he won't mention it.
I do want to note, Milton Knight, character designer for the show, he's talked in the past about how one of the most important aspects of Robotnik's design is his huge ass.
Oh,
yes!
Everyone should draw his huge ass.
Yeah, we've talked about this, I think.
I can't figure out if we've gone over the episode or not, but there's a great episode where he, like, sits down at an organ and his ass, like, moves around as he's playing the organ.
Yes, Emery, like, posted a gif of him doing that while Dr. Starline is in the foreground.
I posted that.
Oh, you did! I don't know why
it's a very Emery thing.
Yeah, I was like, wait, no, that's because Emery would post that and be like, here you go, Devin.
Dr. Starline would love this Robotnik. I don't think he would know what to do with him.
He's pure evil, he's got an ass for days. What's not to love?
Yeah, he'd be like, oh god, oh shit.
So, Dr. Robotnik, is now super, so he decides to go lord over everything. He demotes Scratch and Grounder and promotes Coconuts.
For an accident. Like, he does know that Coconuts did this by accident, but he still promotes him, and I'm like,
yeah.
Why would you trust this monkey as far as you could throw him?
Chaos agent shit.
Yeah,
Workplace
true.
was getting too complacent.
He tells him to make more formula. And Robotnik's going off to do whatever he wants. We cut to Sonic and Tails eating chili dogs as a reward for saving this village they're in. And Super Robotnik shows up. He freezes them with his freeze breath and tosses them off to the frozen wastes.
Yeah, he just fucking kills them.
We see Coconuts ordering Scratch and Grounder around.
He loves to do it.
He's so happy to have this modicum of power.
The power, it's gone to his head.
Robotnik shows up and announces that he has stolen candy from 4,822 babies.
Isn't that after he, like, fucks with Sonic and Tails?
Yes, I mentioned that. He, like, throws them...
Yeah, sorry.
He threw them off into the Arctic.
Right, yeah, duh. Yeah, sorry.
He knows with his super brain, though I'm pretty sure he already had a super brain, but...
It's more super!
He knows that, Sonic's gonna, like, escape now, so he's gotta go kidnap all of the, leaders of Mobius.
Who are all ghosts.
They're all, like, weird ghost Dr. Seuss characters.
They're like old men ghosts. Like,
These guys came from the
like,
Moomins.
the only ghost part is, like, their tail or whatever.
These guys belong
like,
in the Moomin
They're
cartoon.
like guys...
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
They've got black robes, little sashes.
They're also
big funny
clowns.
hats.
Like, they act like clowns.
Yeah, they're from Moomin.
Clowns. They're...
Yeah.
Yes. They're all identical, too. So... Robotnik just grabs all of these guys and throws them in the RPD police car, which I guess is Robotnik Police Department.
Yeah, I guess that's what it would stand for, because he does later say, like, yeah, I kidnapped them. They're in my fucking jail. But,
Yeah, he put them in his dungeon.
but it is like, what is RPD?
Do you think it smells like
Robotnik-
eggs down there?
I guess it makes sense.
Ugh.
Yes, absolutely. Nasty, rotten eggs, haha.
Big stinky eggs.
Don't splash me. No, don't splash me. Gizmo, don't splash me.
Is Gizmo getting violent?
Sorry. He's splashing me with my water.
Oh.
It's cute, but also it splashed my computer screen, so I don't love it.
Gizmo wants the podcast to end.
Yes. He's like, it's done. It's over with.
Gizmo said, I'm done.
Yeah. They're in the, Sonic goes to face off against Super Robotnik, and he gives Sonic Super Robotnik tells Sonic about how the world leaders are in his dungeon, and in order to, save them, they must face off in a, sports event at the Coliseum for gladiators. If Sonic wins, he lets the guys go. If he loses, he has to leave Mobius forever.
Where would he go?
I guess he would go to space.
I love Sonic X.
I love Sonic X Season 3. So, Sonic goes to get Professor Von Schlemmer. He puts him in an ultra all-purpose exercise machine and juicer.
Yeah, juices Sonic.
Well, you know what he always says, let's move it and juice it or whatever.
Yeah, let's juice and jam.
Yeah.
Juice me, brother.
Let's juice!
He says, juice me!
Juice me!
So, Sonic works out. Von Schlemmer gets juiced.
Sonic does the curls that get the girls.
And then the machine...
He, like, goes crazy on this machine with some, like, wild amounts of weights, enough that he breaks it.
Yeah. He, like, it explodes and collapses, and he just climbs out, enhanced in strength. This is how getting strong works.
Yeah, he raised his strength stat.
Yeah, he has a buff for the next 4 hours. It's like Monster Hunter. Tails spies on Scratch and Grounder, and we see Scratch hanging up a painting that he made of Robotnik, but
he looks like a poodle in it. It's very strange.
It's a strange image.
Artist's rendition.
He's trying to nail it into the wall, but he drops the nails, and one of them lands,
perfectly on a cushion.
Yes, perfectly on a chair. Ideal for sitting in and getting hurt.
I hope no one sits in it and gets hurt on their caboose.
Robotnik loves this painting. He loves how it's hung. Just like him, it's hung crooked. And
I didn't even hear the word hung. I was like,
it's not hung.
I was like, damn, he's hung? And he's crooked?
He's crooked.
Oh, Robotnik.
Damn, Robotnik.
Dr. Starline fiercely writing notes.
God.
That's Dr. Starline's dating profile says that in his looking for.
Yes, looking for men with big butts who are crooked in attitude and crooked, hung crooked.
God. Getting a little blue.
Robotnik sits down on the pin, and he gets hurt.
What?
What?
He's supposed to be invincible.
As it turns out, his ass didn't land in the formula, so it's his weak point.
It's still vulnerable.
Yes.
Oh no.
He's very afraid of saying ass. He calls it his unmentionable. Then
I thought it poked him right in his dick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sure does.
Because this show hasn't been afraid to say the word butt before.
Right.
And Sonic's they're not mentioning it.
But then they're he does eventually say caboose or something, and his two robots are he said
he admitted it.
He admitted it!
He admitted.
Mm-hmm. Now he has to marry his mother-in-law.
Oh, God.
To deal with this, Grounder is dressed up like a nurse, and they talk about how to get this pin out of his ass, they're gonna need the butt pliers. He pulls out these big, comedy, Jaws of Life or whatever. But
then he says, no, the big ones.
Yeah, he needs the large butt pliers.
They don't show us the big ones.
Cowards.
Mm-hmm. We then cut away as Tails says, hot dog.
He does say hot dog. I don't know why that struck me just now, but it didn't during the episode. I was like, oh man. Hot diggity dog.
He goes off to tell them about this. Von Schlemmer has created a counter for Super Robotnik. It is a cushion with a weakening powder, that if Robotnik sits on it, will absorb into his ass and make him normal.
Ray, that makes you normal.
Mm-hmm.
Or powder that makes you... I'm sorry. Powder that makes you normal.
Yes. Sonic goes...
Me adopting the thirsty cushion pose.
Yeah, he's got this powder on the cushion, and Sonic sells it as a door-to-door cushion salesman. Robotnik loves it. He steals it, and sits on it.
He loves sitting on it.
He loves it.
It makes him feel so good after that horrible butt plier surgery.
He says it's not great, but he still loves it. He says it's fine.
Yeah.
This
And
is where we... Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say we see the powder seep into his ass.
Yeah.
Good. This is where we begin the portion of the show where I think they were like, shit, how much longer do we have to fill an episode? And the effects of this ass powder just became mysterious.
Mm-hmm. Tongue stuck. They're at the Coliseum. This squirrel is like announcing everyone. Sonic comes in, Robotnik comes in. Robotnik loves that everyone's booing him. Coconuts does not have the formula. But he does have a rump protector, so Robotnik wraps that around his ass. I have the phrase Robotnik's feet written down here, and I don't remember it. I think I don't remember. There's a challenge. There's 3 challenges. Or is it 2?
It's 3.
It's 3.
Yeah. The first challenge...
yeah, go ahead.
The first challenge is swing across these, hanging rings.
Sonic just, goes and does the damn thing, and Robotnik is just, hanging from the first ring by his feet. That's probably why you were talking about feet. I just realized.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, nah, I don't gotta try. I just gotta fucking use my, heat ray vision to burn the ring that Sonic's on, so he falls.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just fucking... How does Sonic, he, falls, but he falls onto a bouncy...
Just a big lady.
Lady? It's very weird, and he's just, disgruntledly, bouncing funny on the lady, and, Robotnik just flies across, and everyone's booing because he's cheating. But he still wins, I guess.
Listen, he's only begun to cheat. This is how you win.
Everyone
does say that.
The thing that happens is, even if people know you're cheating, a win's a win.
Yeah, they're like, well, it's Robotnik, so of course he's cheating.
Yeah, that's just par for the course. They're like, it'd be weirder if he didn't.
It's the Wacky Racers rule.
Yeah.
Next is Blasto Ball. Oh, also we get a quick aside of Scratch and Grounder fighting over the right to, polish Robotnik's butt plate.
Simps.
We get Blasto Ball. They have to run through an obstacle course in big metal balls.
Yeah.
Normal.
They're like hamster balls.
Yeah. Sonic is able to get ahead, but he's got some trouble getting up this hill. So Robotnik smashes Sonic and into the sky and wins.
He only gets ahead of Robotnik because Robotnik's fucking around.
Mm-hmm.
And watching him.
Yeah, he's just kind of dicking around. He's undone by his hubris.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking too long. That's his problem.
Something tortoise in the hair.
He's taking if he didn't take too long, then the powder wouldn't seep into him.
Yeah. Sonic gets knocked into the sky, he passes by some angels.
He knocks an angel out for a second.
Mm-hmm. And then we
Glad
get
that Christian
third
God
and final.
exists in Mobius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian God exists. Only the Christian God would make a world like this. they have their final challenge, which is balance beam wrestling. They must wrestle each other over a pile of, quote, yuck.
Of
Just
the yuck.
mysterious, disgusting brown...
They do call it yuck.
Yeah.
It's the dip from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, they're gonna get unmade if they fall in it. So, Sonic just hops over the other side of Robotnik, pulls off the butt protector, and kicks him off, and then Robotnik loses his powers. The day is saved.
I was so confused when this happened.
I was like, why does this make him lose his powers?
Is it like the Achilles heel thing? Is it like all it needed was a firm kick? But his ass has been protected this whole time?
Achilles' ass.
His, he needed to get kicked so the powder would go in his ass crack more. Like, that's all I can think of.
I'm thinking about the
like,
word
sorry to
Achilles'
get
ass.
graphic here.
I guess this is the exact moment it needed to take effect, I guess.
I could feel the effect.
It's his Achilles' ass.
Achilles' ass zone.
Yeah, that's gonna be what I have to call the episode. So Robotnik loses his powers. Scratch and Grounder aren't gonna help him unless they promote him, so he promotes them. He pulls them into the yuck.
He never demotes Coconuts, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coconuts doesn't get,
they're on
like,
equal footing.
comeuppance in this episode.
I guess not.
He's just chilling. He does a little bit in the Sonic Says, if, like, that counts, but...
I guess.
No. But he doesn't get, like, demoted. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe they all share cleaning duties equally now. Just kidding, they would never.
So... Sonic goes off to save the leaders of Mobius.
With the keys he has, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The day is saved. Robotnik hates that hedgehog, and then he gets blasted with lightning by an angel.
He gets smited by the Christian god.
Yeah.
And we get our Sonic Says.
We did talk about Achilles. Maybe it's the Greek gods.
Maybe it's like the Greek choir.
Yeah.
Or the Norse gods.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's lightning god. Yeah. Do they have angels though? I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Valkyries.
Yeah, true.
So, Coconut spills some chemicals.
In the Sonic Says, yeah.
Sonic says, don't clean up toxic chemicals unless you ask your parents first. You don't know what they're gonna do to you if you get near them.
Yeah, they could bleach your skin completely white and also sear your eyelids off.
Yeah, don't mess with
I don't know why I did not think you were gonna go there.
Okay, here's my creepypasta for Sonic. It's Robotnik the Killer.
Fuck me.
You get
Coconut the Killer.
I think a bleach falls on him. He gets into some fights with some bullies or something.
Here's a Sonic Says from Morgan. Morgan says, make sure to check your cleaning supplies when you're using it, because you can and will make chlorine gas by accident.
Yeah. Don't make mustard gas.
Yeah. Do not mix,
yeah, you can and will accidentally make mustard gas.
Do not mix ammonia and chloride. AKA bleach.
Shout out to when I used to work at a place, and when we were closing, I would always clean the bathrooms, and for a while, my manager on duty didn't tell me that he used to just, pour bleach, down the toilet bowls.
Yeah.
And so I would always put the toilet bowl cleaner in and be like, why do my eyes suddenly burn so damn much?
No.
And I had to be like, hey, are you putting like anything in the bathrooms while I'm like not over there? And he's like, yeah, I'm putting bleach in there to let it sit. And I'm just like,
don't do that! The fucking
ever
toilet
again.
cleaner has ammonia in it!
I'm like, don't do that ever again.
Or,
Thanks.
like, I didn't do it, like, not a couple weeks ago, I was just like trying to clean the bathroom with like the tiles in the tub, like the back thing with, and
Yeah.
I didn't think about the fact that some of it would like drip down, and so like I of course used bleach in the tub itself, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself accidentally with fucking ammonia on the tiles. Apparently, I didn't even realize that's what it was because
Right.
I'm smart.
Yeah, motherfuckers have never seen the episode of King of the Hill where Peggy accidentally makes mustard gas in a gossip column.
I don't think I have either.
I have seen
Oh,
that
she's
one.
like, yeah, she's like writing for like a magazine, and she keeps getting all her ideas from I forget who. But one day she runs out of them, so she's like, oh, I'll figure out one by myself by using the stain fighting power of like regular dish cleaner with like bleach or whatever.
Oh
and
no.
fucking Hank is like, Peggy, you just made mustard gas.
No.
He's like, you just made mustard gas and sent it to everybody in town.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
King of the Hill is
It
funny.
is.
It's a good show. That wraps up these episodes. Let's see, how long have we been recording? Let me see. Do we have time for a segment? Oh, we're an hour in. Yeah, I think there's time for a segment. Let me get up and leave my computer and figure out where I put my Sonic Encyclopedia. Okay, I'm back. This week in the encyclopedia, since it's with the other arcade games, Sonic the Fighters, also known as Sonic Championship, this tournament fighter pits 8 characters against each other for the Chaos Emeralds, and the chance to defeat Dr. Eggman. 16 years later, 3 more contenders would be added to the mix. This 3D fighter utilizes the joystick and 3 buttons for combo-focused battling. The player follows a specific series of fighters and stages, fighting Dr. Eggman, a Dr. Eggman-created clone when they reach their own character. They then fight Metal Sonic, followed by a tightly timed final showdown with Dr. Eggman. The story. Dr. Eggman has launched another attack on the world from the Death Egg 2. Tails builds the Lunar Fox, a rocket capable of reaching the orbital fortress. But there are 2 problems. First, it's a single-seated craft. Second, it needs the power of the 8 Chaos Emeralds to work. And so, the player's character sets out to win the emeralds from their respective guardians. It then goes on to like talk about the different little stages you can fight in. I've played this game on the PS3. It's pretty fun.
I love fighter games like this and their decisions to include what characters.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have Fang in here, they have Espio in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, out of all the Chaotix, they were like, who will fans most want to see in a fighting game? And they said Espio.
Yeah. You've got Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and also, Bean the Dynamite, Bark the Polar Bear, Knack the Weasel, and Espio the Chameleon. In that version they mentioned before, which was on the PS3 and some other consoles of that era, was Metal Sonic and Dr. Eggman, They were only bosses originally, then they became playable in the remaster. And the other secret unlockable character is Huddy the cat.
Lil Huddy?
Lil Huddy?
Lil Huddy's in this game? Fuck!
Huddy the cat, is...
I don't know why I thought you
let
said
me
Huddy.
see here.
I'm sorry. That's what it really sounded like.
Mm-hmm. So let me grab a picture of Huddy the cat, just to post and show both of you. Let's see. I'll go with this one. I think it's from the comics. Just copying straight from Google Images. Hopefully
Great.
So
There she is.
Damn.
She's a high-spirited fashion designer who battles to promote her brand. Are the
I love
wings
her
on her
brand.
back? Mhm. Are the wings on the back part of her costume, or are they real? Only she knows the truth. Honey is an homage to the fighter Candy from Fighting Vipers, who is the spiritual forebear to Sonic the Fighters. Oh yeah, Fighting Vipers, pretty cool, like, mid to late 90s, Sega fighting game. You can play it in Judgment, in Judgment, which is
I know the answer is every Sonic character is trans.
Mm-hmm.
This girl has strong T-girl vibes.
She does!
She's
extremely, like, goth GF trans girl vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, this
got,
is like your goth gamer, like, trans GF.
Yeah, she's a cat girl. She's got like a lacy outfit, pretty dress. It's great.
I changed my name.
Yeah, she wasn't an available fighter until her data was restored on the digital re-release. To choose her, highlight Amy and press start. Yeah, she's great. Let's see.
They should bring her back.
Yeah, just like in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they brought her back in an arc of the Archie comics based on Sonic the Fighters, which is also probably one of the best arcs in the entirety of, like, the reboot era of Archie Sonic.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Yeah. She's great in it. The image I've provided
Can't
is
wait
from
to
that
spot
comic.
her in Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
With all my favorite characters. Shadow, Lil Huddy the cat.
Bean the Dynamite. He's a wild sports enthusiast woodpecker who can seemingly generate
Wait, he's a
explosive-
woodpecker?
I guess.
I thought he was a duck.
That's my friend Bean.
Mhm.
That's
What
my
do you
friend.
mean?
That's my friend Bean Barrier Trio.
What do you mean?
Let me post a picture of him as well.
Yeah, I was like, I think we've seen him before. I thought he was a duck. Also,
I
Yeah,
swear to God.
I guess the beak's a little bit more pointed than a duck's. Like, if I'm looking at it, and I'm like, especially
That's
the-
like cartoon duck beak, though.
especially it's more noticeable in the 3D renders, like, that I see online.
Yeah,
But I think
like,
that's also, like, a fan 3D render. So it's kind of, like, hard to be like, oh, that's actually what he look, you know?
Yeah,
I look at
the
this
way
guy
he
and I
was-
see, like, Daffy Duck in my brain.
Yeah, like, the way he's drawn in the Archie comics, he's got more of a pointed beak. The way he's drawn in this other comic that came out a couple years later, it's definitely a duck beak. He's based on, I think he's based on, like, a character from Dynamite Heddy? Or Dynamite Ducks. One or
Dynamite
both.
Heddy?
Dynamite Ducks. Yeah, I'm looking at this. Yeah, this was like a very old beat 'em up from Sega, Dynamite Ducks. Let me just grab a screenshot.
His fucking side mouth. I guess that's more Sonic-y, though. But it's very,
all Sonic
strange.
got side mouth.
It's very
They got
strange
side
in
mouth
this,
powers.
though.
Oh, I love little Kenta-kun right there.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
So, let me see. He can seemingly generate explosives from thin air. He attacks with wild abandon, but always with an impish smile on his face. He was relegated to cameos until Sonic Mania, where he could potentially show up to blow Sonic and Tails out of the air. There's like a boss in Sonic Mania that's based on, that like turns into Bee and Bark and Knack.
So he's just like a little shit?
Yeah.
Adding to list of favorite characters?
Yeah, he's very like Looney Tunes in the Archie comics, where he shows up a bunch. Bark the Polar Bear. A long-armed grappler.
Hey, if you're a polar bear, why are you yellow?
He is yellow.
He's kind of yellow. Just to probably, like, make it look a little different than the snow, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Sonic characters aren't, like, the right colors anyway.
That's fair.
True.
They're all fucking...
No, you don't know about a blue hedgehog?
He's
Yeah.
cream-colored.
No, that's Bark, not Cream. Sorry, bad joke.
Yeah.
No, it was
That's a good
needed.
joke.
I like him.
A long-armed grappler, he uses his incredible strength to fling and flatten opponents. Despite his ferocious power, he's actually shy and soft-spoken, with a gentle heart.
Aww.
He wouldn't be seen beyond a cameo appearance until Sonic Mania, where he shows up in Mirage Saloon Act 2, referring to the same thing. Let's see. Did you know? Bark, Bean, and Fang were first grouped together as a gang called the Hooligans in the early comic series.
I love them.
Yeah, they're the Hooligans. Afterward, their wanted posters appeared in Sonic Generations and Sonic Mania, confirming their notorious natures.
I love how many like gangs of 3 in the Sonic universe are just like random hooligans.
Yeah. Chaotix and
It's
the Hooligans.
It's just like a random gang of weird dudes who all hang out and cause mischief.
Yeah.
Also, like, if you think about Sonic Adventure 2, the two, like, the good and the hero and the dark, and they're gangs of 3 too.
Honestly, I'd say there's of course Sonic Heroes.
Oh, right, yeah, of course.
all about playing teams of 3 characters.
And there's the Air Riders, I don't know their names, but like those 3 birds who I assume are just like skateboard hooligans.
Yeah, the Babylon
There
Rogues.
we go.
Rogues, yeah.
If you got a team of 3, you're gonna be a group of hooligans.
I was watching the Snap Cube dub of the game where the Babylon Rogues show up.
Sonic Riders.
Yeah, Riders.
Yeah, they're great in that. They say a G-rated swear.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, so that's that. Let's see. Let me check for questions. If you want to send in a question, you can either send it in on our Twitter, at ShuffleSonic, or in response to one of our Ask tweets. Or on our Discord. Sorry. We've got 2 questions from Discord. Well, 3 from 2 people.
Yeah.
Our first question from James the Cat Girl. Would Robotnik be a big paintball fan? And I think he would.
Yeah, I think so.
He would love to shoot some people.
He would be a big paintball fan. He would get way too into it, and he would mod his gun all the time. And so he would constantly get in trouble.
Yes, he would. He's not very sporting. He plays dirty.
He would cheat.
Like, he's banned from basically every paintball place that you know, and somehow he keeps getting in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jasmine asks, would his dumbass Ray have a reverse setting like the Devolver in the Super Mario Bros. Movie? How does it handle mirrors and bank shots?
We see how it handles mirrors in the Sonic Says in that episode, and that it does, and in fact, reflects back.
Yes. Given the cartoon logic of this universe, it absolutely has a reverse setting, and he absolutely can and will shoot people to make them smarter or stupider as need be.
Yeah, maybe that's how he was, like, fixed. Like, maybe, like, Scratch and Grounder were like, damn, we need our boss back, because we're, like, dumb without him.
Yeah, they're like, we dumb as shit, we need our boss back.
Yeah. What superpower would you find most fun to write about? Oh, this is broad.
That's a hard question, because it also depends on, like, do you mean superheroes with superpowers? Because it could also be, like, do I want to write a character that has cool, like, elemental powers, but they're not necessarily superheroes in the same way that, like, a comic book superhero would be? Whenever I was asked as a kid, like, what superpowers I would want, I would say Danny Phantom powers, so I think it would be cool to write about that, too. Also, I just like ghosts.
That is a pretty good set of powers.
I'm always, like, partial to, like, shape-shifting, but kind of in, like, the Martian Manhunter kind of way, where it's just, like, I can do whatever with my body. No, it's just, like, yeah, I can phase through walls because I can, like, turn my body, like, intangible, like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think I just like Martian Manhunter, so I'd say Martian Manhunter.
We all love Superman's mom.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we all love Martha.
We all love Martha.
What would be the most fun to write about? I can't even begin to think. There's so many I could go with.
That's why I was like, I don't know.
The powers, like,
I don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
Just like a regular power is just super fun, and like, how does a person like weirdly use it?
Yeah. And I was also, that's why I was like, do you mean like, I wasn't trying to be like, get your ass, when you said superpowers. I was just like, I mean, you could say that like, supernatural powers are superpowers still, and then you could be like, okay, well, writing about like, vampires and werewolves and shit, like, that's cool, you know? It's the year of the vampire, according to Shriek Shack, so...
You can write about...
Kinda is, yeah.
And I'll say, I read Midnight Sun and also Twilight, because of said Shriek Shack, and Alice's super, like, future vision is actually pretty fun, like, when written.
Yeah, I think, like, even people who, like, kinda didn't like the books and stuff, they were like, the superpowers are kind of fun, though.
Yeah, the vampire powers are, like, fun in that some of them are, like, extremely fun and unique, and some of them are, like, my power is super compassion, and I'm like, that sucks so much ass.
I know exactly what...
I have the power of heart. Yeah.
I want to do stuff with the Psychonauts go inside someone's mind stuff. That shit's cool.
Ooh, that's a good answer. That shit's awesome. I love, like...
Some dive into the heart power.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
No, I always love to, like, if you saw the different worlds, like, you get to see, like, the different brains of your friends and be, like, horrified and...
Yeah. You get to learn about all the traumas and how they personified them in their mind.
I mean, that's like the best episode of like anything where someone's like, we have to go inside their mind and their mental landscape is like super fucked up and they're like, what's going on? That was my favorite episode of Teen Titans when they entered Raven's Cursed Mirror and they fucked up Demon Zone.
That's such a good episode. Damn.
Yeah. Okay. That wraps it up. So, first off, I just want to note, as delayed as these uploads have been, I will not be recording next week. I will be in Boston, attending, My Dad Wrote a Porno live show. I'm going to experience Belinda's 30th birthday bash.
That's so.
Oh, finally, she's finally turning 30 after years of waiting.
After years of the audience asking.
After years of COVID.
Yes.
Delayed. My 30th birthday was delayed because of COVID.
Mm-hmm. So, while I'm doing that, there won't be a recording, so let me look at this.
I'll just read my Dr. Starline fanfiction live on air for an hour.
You fucking should, though!
You should.
Shit!
So let me, regardless of what happens, let me, roll for next week. Where is my die? Cut this out afterwards. Don't forget this time. I really can't. My desk is too cluttered. I can't find it.
Same.
I could use a random number generator, and I might have to, but I love to roll a funny die. Here it is. Here's my funny die. Okay. That is a 9. And 9, I believe, is Sonic Boom. So, next time we record, we'll be talking about some episodes of Sonic Boom.
We talked about weird vibes enough that we, summoned Sonic Boom.
But it's the video game that has the weird vibes.
The show also has some weird vibes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just different weird vibes.
So, until next time, plugs. Okay. First, I'm Dan. You can find me out of a lot of places. At the time of this recording, I still haven't gotten around to changing from Linktree. I keep forgetting to do it. I'll have to get around to it. But instead of going there, you can visit my Twitter, @BiggerChallenge, my YouTube channel, Big Challenges, where I'm uploading a Fallout 4 Let's Play. That's been on indefinite hold on account of a funny little game called Final Fantasy XIV, but
these things tend to happen.
Maybe I'll get back to it. You can listen to my other podcasts, which include Pot of Greed, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. We're almost done with Season 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Devin was on an episode recently. We had our Pot of Greed tournament. Our Cup of Greed tournament, I'm sorry. The VODs for that should be up by now. You can listen to Video Games, the Movie, the podcast. A video game movie review podcast I do with my friend Maxie. For June, we're talking about Resident Evil Apocalypse with special guest Morgan Kursgoat. You can listen to my finished podcast, Chill Bleed, about Ill Bleed. My inactive podcast, Stranger's Fiction, which is an actual play. And you can visit @Xbox_holiday, where Usher celebrates holidays with Xbox. Let me think. One thing that's coming up, GDQ. Happy GDQ, Xbox.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Morg, where can we find you?
You can find me at Haunting the Morg on Twitter. That's Haunting the MORG. You can also find me on, I'm just gonna say my active podcasts. I almost said this podcast.
Have y'all heard of the
Digimon Ghost, the Sonic Supple. Digimon Ghost Gay is a Digimon Ghost Game Watch podcast, and Ford ReZero, which has a new episode. My ReZero Watch podcast, and man, this show's insane. I recorded the most recent episode of Digimon Ghost after like having watched the ReZero episode that I needed for that week, and I just had the most wild energy because there's just like so much in that show, and I'm on episode 8 of the director's cut, and his head just does that.
I feel like that's a fun show to also jump between with Digimon Ghost Game. I feel like that's like an energy to jump between those two. Like a conflict.
Yeah. They're very different. But also there's like interesting stuff in like both. I don't know. Yeah. Those are that's my shit. Devin.
You can find me on Twitter at Groove and Ghastly. You can also find me on a Hunter x Hunter rewatch podcast called Gonwa Hunting that should be putting out episodes soon. We also just recorded our first bumper for We Rate Queerbait, which was us coming in with a surprisingly very aggressive energy. No one's allowed to question our scientific method on how we rate this show. And so that will be out soon. Our first episode will be over Sasanaru, the thing that ruined my life. And, oh yeah, I was on Pod Agreed. We talked about Rio making the biggest number ever and then dying because of it. Spoilers.
One last post.
I love Rio so much. Yeah, so that's about it.
And you can find us on Twitter at ShuffleSonic, on our Discord, which is on the Twitter and in our show notes, and at Noisepace.xyz. Noisepace.xyz. It is a podcast network run by a Canadian and features shows by said Canadian's friend group. There's a lot of different shows on there. For example, let's see, Henry Kissinger is Pokemon going to die. Someday.
Just a fact.
Yeah, not a threat, just a fact.
Not a threat. Just a fact.
Yeah. It's a leftism podcast for the terminally online. There hasn't been an episode in a while because just everyone who runs that, despite having so many different hosts, all of them are too busy most, if not all of them, are too busy to commit to recording a new episode. They've all got their own podcast projects, they've all got their own life things to do.
Also, the world just fucking sucks. So, like, talking about politics is hard. Even most of the politics podcasts I listen to have kind of, like, recognized that and been like, okay, we have to have some, like, funny segments sometimes. Like, Trillbillies and Buena Vista are kinda, like, they've moved a lot away from the politics, because they're like, wow, it's hard.
Like,
everything's
a lot of the ones
bad.
Who are doing, like, hey guys, we know the world sucks, keep fighting, but also, it's just kind of more of the same bullshit.
Yeah, it turns out that it takes more than just a Lightbringer segment.
Yes.
So, the most recent episode is from June 19th, 2021, almost a full year from this recording.
That was a good one. That was the Donald 64, wasn't it?
No, that was Flora and Fauna Fan Club.
Donald 64 is still an all-timer. Yeah. I sometimes just, like, re-listen to that one for funsies.
Yeah, Nintendo Donald 64 is a historical document. I guess we can talk about this since it's it's a good episode of the podcast and worth bringing up. Nintendo 64, on February 7th, on February 7th, 2021, after the 2020 presidential election happened, and, the big wet president, Donald Trump, was sworn out of office, everyone got into a voice chat and created a dedicated discussion of his 64 most weird, fucked up, bizarre things that happened while he was the president. I feel like there was definitely something that was missed. There is more than 64 things
Oh, yeah.
that he managed to pull off in 4 years.
RPG
Absolutely.
Tiny Dancer. There's not a day goes by that I'm just not thinking in my head, hold me closer, Tiny Dancer. It's just, he just tries to fake it.
Yes. Yeah, he finds out Ruth Bader Ginsburg has died and does not know how to
Just
make it sound
trying
like
his
he felt
best to
bad
fake
about
it and
that.
not doing a good job.
So, also, I know there were, like, connection problems because so many people got in the voice chat to listen to that live, that it broke the voice chat.
I feel like that was like the biggest day of
Let's
like
see,
the
I think I didn't end up listening in because I was doing something else and it was crashing. I was like, I don't want to deal with this. but I
cultural
listened
event,
afterwards,
honestly.
obviously. But
yeah. So, you can also visit the stuff on the network page, which aren't part of Noise Space, but are made by other friends of the show who also make podcasts. Today's shout out is The Immortal
Let's fucking go.
Incantation.
speaking of Year of the Vampire.
Yes. So, this is a Good Episode Productions podcast. Originally, as part of, like, their, Patreon, they did, like, they, in addition to talking about Discworld, talked about YA novels for a couple weeks. And as they, like, read into this very specific niche of self-published, Amazon YA novels, they realized, hey, we can make our own, and we're gonna be goofy with it. So, Janosch, Robin, and Chaz got together, over the course of several weeks and wrote an entire novel, week by week, going through all of the different, things, and so, the podcast, in addition to, covering, each chapter they wrote, reading and reviewing the chapters they wrote, they also talk about the, legal drama revolving around, one of the more notable, Amazon self-published authors. It's incredible. Their writing is very funny. It's about, this very beautiful young woman, sort of falling in love with the vampire, but also she loves this other guy, and also, there's, vampires and werewolves, Loch Ness.
This other guy that
goblin
might be,
schools.
this other guy that might also be a vampire. No big deal.
Yeah.
Also, there's like demons, and also like she's kind of stuck in another world right now. So they're kind of doing, for their second book, they're doing the like different point of views thing. They're pulling they're
doing it like a Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah.
The words like greatest idea for a podcast get thrown around like a lot. This is like the actual one, though.
Yes.
It's incredible. They just put out on the free feed, after, some prompting by myself, maybe, they put out, the first episode of the second book on the free feed. I say that cause on the Who Watches a Watch, fucking Patreon, they have up to like chapter 6, but the first episode's on the free feed, and their whole first book's on the free feed. You can just buy the book on Amazon if you want to.
It's a real book you can buy. It's a little expensive because it's kind of a vanity printing. They have to like print out the individual book, but I need to do that when I can afford it.
Yeah, same.
It's incredible. Please listen to the podcast. Please subscribe to the Patreon so you can catch up. Please, buy the book itself so you can have it on your shelf and look at the page.
To look at it.
You can look at the page where you see a picture of the Doubt PNG from,
Yeah, you sure do! And the troll face.
God.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that PewDiePie's in it.
No, he's not!
You're right, sorry.
God.
StudiePie is in it, and he does clone jutsu, and he gets killed in a horrible way. It's great.
No real people were harmed in the making of this book.
Until next time, Sonic is real, he is strong, and he is my friend.
He's the only blue live that matters.
The only one.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.